So, you have an idea that you're really excited about, and you pursue it, and then you realize, wait, I don't know if I know how to get the thought in my brain to become an actual reality. This is actually harder than I originally thought it would be to technically execute it. Am I even capable of doing this? And then you start doubting the idea and wondering if it was good in the first place. And then you proceed to either scrap the idea, do nothing about it, or you pursue a simpler idea and it doesn't match up to the original expectation and you're left disappointed. Can you relate? Well, first I want to say, it's okay if you go through this process, because my guess would be every single creator in the whole world relates to this. Maybe there's one savant out there that just perfectly executes on all their ideas and knows how to see it in their mind and make it happen. Good for them. But I can guarantee you that this doesn't just happen often for most creators, but might even happen in almost every single project they try to pursue. So, what do we do about this? I'm a filmmaker and I've ran into this problem endless times. I remember this idea that still hasn't left me. I had this idea a few years ago. I wanted to put an individual door frame in the middle of a wide field. So it would just be this like little door in the middle of a field. And I thought, there's no way I can do that. How could I execute that? How could I do that by myself? And so I scrapped the idea, even though I thought it would be so powerful within the video I was trying to pursue. But I just scrapped it, I let it go, and ever since, I haven't stopped thinking about it, because I didn't try to pursue that idea. And now here's what I want to talk through. I don't think the idea is often the problem. I think mindset is more so often the problem. So if you find yourself in the same place, with an idea that you don't know how to execute, here's a few questions to ask yourself to see if your mindset's in the right place. 1. Is the idea even possible? Let's talk about my door in the middle of the field situation to give an example of answering these questions. If I were to answer that question, I would say, yes, it is actually possible. I'm not trying to do something way out of line here and film in outer space. I'm talking about a door in a field. The answer to that question is yes, it's possible for me to execute this. So the second question I would ask, can I do it alone? For the door situation, I'd say maybe. Probably not though. Okay, if I need to ask for people to help me, am I willing to? This is where pride often comes in. Am I willing to get help for an idea that I want to execute? Am I willing to take the time to go pursue that? Which enters the next question. Am I willing to be patient pursuing this idea? I think that's a really key question that you have to ask, because often good ideas are not simple to execute. Why do you think movies take so much time and require such big crews to execute? Because their ideas are big and they need a lot of people to help them. I get so eager to just finish my video idea, and if I have this one little clip that I want to put in and it seems way out of left field to actually pursue it, then I'm often like, well, I'll just do something simpler. But I know if I pursued this door idea in that one video, it would have been like a really, really cool, high quality, probably would have stood out to the viewers of like, wow, that's such a unique concept, and probably would have made the story more powerful. But I chose to sacrifice it and do something simpler. So I actually think this third question, am I patient enough to pursue the idea, is actually a really key one to answer. Because it really shows what you're going to value and prioritize within the project. Is this idea worth it enough for you to throw away the instant gratification of being able to execute on an idea quickly and put in the time required and the effort required to make the idea happen? Because you probably can make it happen. So another question that helps you solidify those values and priorities and what you actually think about is it worth it? Is it worth it to you to pursue this idea? And this question often leads to the self-doubt about the idea. We often might think, is it worth it to pursue this? And then we think, is this idea even good anymore? And something that's funny about that question that I think a lot of us ask ourselves, is the idea even good? Is the idea even worth it? Is we're often not actually asking ourselves that question. We're saying that question as a statement with the answer already being no. But what if you actually asked yourself that question? Is it worth it? Now, if your answer is still adamantly no, then don't pursue the idea. Move on and do something different. But if you're asking that question with a framework of doubt, like, is it worth it? Is this idea even good? And you're just kind of assuming that that is true because you're starting to feel some resistance to pursuing the idea, then I encourage you to actually ask the question and realistically answer it. Is it worth it? And the way I like to ask the is it worth it question is, if I go and accomplish this idea and I go put the effort in for it and it doesn't turn out will I still be happy that I pursued it and gave it my best shot to see if it will actually come to fruition? Because if it does work out, I'm probably going to be so beyond excited that I did pursue it. And if it doesn't work out, I'll probably learn something really good from the process and have a better understanding and idea of how to pursue ideas like this in the future, and what I need, what kind of people I need to ask, what kind of resources I need, how much time it actually took me, that will make me overall a better filmmaker. So if I can justify all those answers in my head before pursuing an idea, I think it makes the end result so much better. Because if I try to pursue an idea and it doesn't work out, then at least I have the perspective here of gratitude or of hopefulness, I don't know if that's the right word, to say like it's worth it to pursue the idea even if I can't execute it exactly how I wanted. It's way less worth it to me to scrap it and say, nah, and then do nothing, not create, feel worse about myself, and just get stuck never executing on any of my ideas. So I think that's another really key question to ask yourself when you're in the middle of pursuing an idea. The reason I'm making this video is because I just really want to kind of dive into this mindset that we go through as creatives. I think we're so quick as creatives to think of a pretty cool idea and then immediately kind of feel the resistance to the idea and just dive straight into, I don't even know if the idea is good, I probably shouldn't pursue it. And then all of our ideas are left in the idea stage and we don't do anything. We feel worse about ourselves as creatives and it's just frustrating. And the thing is, I think there's varying degrees of perfectionism in here. I don't always want to bring that word to the surface, but I feel like a lot of creatives do struggle with perfectionism because we have an idea and then we think, wow, I have no idea how to perfectly execute this idea in my brain. Thus, the equation of that is it's not worth pursuing. And I think that's totally wrong. I think it's worth putting the effort in and kind of trying to have less resistance against the idea and more resistance against instant gratification culture and perfectionism and all of these other things that are really stealing your creativity. So I don't think pursuing the idea is the thing that's making you a worse creative. Actually pursuing your ideas is actually going to make you a better creative, give you the practice you need. When you're pursuing more of the thoughts of, yeah, I just don't think I can, like that is actually more harmful to you than actually failing on an idea you were trying to execute. So the last question I would ask myself is, how do I practically pursue this idea? So when I talk about the door in the field again, here's some thoughts that I thought through. Well, you know what? It'd probably be very hard to do on my own. I'm not going to be building a door and building a set to put out there. What's something I could do? I could probably reach out to local theaters, and I've seen theaters and shows before where they have a rolling door for their set. And so I could call up some theaters and say, hey, are you willing to lend this out to me for a day for me to rent out? And then I go ask my friend for a truck and ask that friend if they could help me transfer that door out to a field. And then I get an actor if I need an actor. That's often a barrier for me. I often have ideas and I'm like, I don't want to ask someone, but do you know how many people would be willing and like have so much fun being in one of your videos if you just asked? So this is actually practical. I could actually make this idea happen if I was willing to put in the time and the effort to make it happen. And I do have a personal goal to actually execute on these big ideas I have and make higher quality work and to stop my own self from my own barriers, because I'm preaching this to you because I struggle with the same things. And I want to encourage us all as creatives together to push past our mental blocks and actually pursue things, because I know there's some of you watching this that feel the way I do, where you're like, she's right. I often just kind of give up. And if I were to actually try to pursue my goals and get over these barriers of being too prideful to ask for help, for being too impatient to pursue and put the effort in and the time it would take to get an idea to actually be done, if you actually start pursuing some of the ideas you do have, you're gonna become a better creative. You know that you're not going to get better if you keep ditching your ideas and not pursuing them. So for all the perfectionists out there like me, who struggle with thinking like, oh, I have an idea in my head and I don't know if I can execute it, here's the reality. You probably won't perfectly execute it. You can't. The word perfect is so funny because it just doesn't even exist. We know that. But you might not even be able to execute it to 70% of your expectation. But I can guarantee you as a creative, you as a person are going to feel so much more reward and satisfaction by trying to pursue an idea, and at failing, then you're going to feel continuously not pursuing your ideas. So I've rambled on here, but I'm making this whole video as just an encouragement to you to go pursue that idea And the more practice you put into getting those ideas in your head out into reality, the better you're gonna get at it. You know that's how this life works, is the more practice you put into something, the better you get. So you might feel like endless resistance at the beginning. Like so much resistance where you're like, I'm so uncomfortable because I'm so bad at executing on my ideas. But the more you try, the better you'll get. And hopefully this video is just your encouragement to go just give it a shot. And get community around you, get the friends around you. It's so much more fun to do this and to actually ask people when there's people in it with you. I'm in it with you. I'll do this with you. I'm working hard to be consistent on this channel. I was sick this week and I really didn't think I'd be able to get a video out there to you. You know what I could do is record a talking head video like this. Would I love for this video, like my videos, to have lots of cool B-roll to supplement all these things that I'm saying? Yes. If I ditched this idea, the one person that it helped, the one person who watched this that it helped, they wouldn't have been helped because I would have chosen to throw this idea out. For me, this is like a 30% quality video in my own perception of myself. Just recording a talking head. And I'm just like, I'm rambling now, but I'm sharing that to be honest because it's all about perception, because some of you might be like, that's ridiculous, this was like such a valuable video for me. And that's what I'm like, I don't know, I'm just really passionate about creative mindsets because our perceptions of ourselves and our perceptions of what we do are often wrong and so much less than other people are viewing it as. So I'm saying that full well knowing that this video may have been one of the greatest videos for some of you out there, for me to just sit down and record and share this stuff. So thank you so much for listening. I really do hope it helped. I do hope it was valuable. I hope the things that I said hit a chord in your heart to encourage you to actually go pursue these things. And I just want to say, like, I bet you're so much better at things than you think you are. I just know that's true of so many creatives. Yes, there's some creatives out there who think they're a lot better than they are, but for most often, creatives are often better than they perceive themselves to be, and it always breaks my heart because I want you to believe in yourself. Like, you got this. You got this. You're right, you can do the things you want to do. Our world is so fast-paced. Just slow down, be okay with how long it takes to learn a thing, and you'll do fine. You'll do fine. Alright, well, thanks for sticking around. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. For those who don't know what I'm doing, I can't wait. I'm trying to be more consistent here on YouTube, and I can't wait to put out more of my storytelling videos and my high-quality videos. I'll get there. I just need the time and the patience with myself to be able to get there, so I would love for you to follow along the journey, and I'm gonna just keep taking it one step at a time to the best of my ability. Awesome. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.